What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Y'all know the routine. Y'all know the routine. Whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. And yes, these Sunday streams they might become a regular thing. They might become a regular thing. Might be me and Hood Conservative. Well, me and Hood Conservative, I know we do every Saturday, and me and Nate might do every Sunday. So the weekend will be jam packed, action packed. So yes, come on in. Let's get ready to go with that. I see we are in here, Mr. Magoo, See the God, and Iron Sea Addict dropped a super chat on it. You'll be acknowledged after the intro for sure. Shout out to Manny Never Tells. Shout out to everybody in the building. Appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to be talking about a number of things. We're going to be talking first about it's not in the title or the thumbnail, but Kyrie Irving goes back on the court today, as I understand it, and they had him issue another public apology. It was kind of weird. But so we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk more. We kind of already touched on this. I know me and her conservative touched on it yesterday, but this is a topic that we're gonna dig a little, probe a little deeper into this whole thing where black women got seemingly some serious smoke for white women for their attachment to their men. They got serious smoke for that. When it comes to that feminism, black women are basically saying, you white women ain't really about that life. So we're going to be getting into that. So strap on in. Let's get ready to go.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
All right, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Shout out to everybody in the building. Like I said in the pre-ramble, the pre-intro. Make sure you hit the like button whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. Shout out to the early bird squad, those that make it in bright and early. Mr. GQ Smooth in the building. I thought that was that Mr. Magoo guy. I didn't even read it. But Mr. GQ Smooth in the building says, wow, black women wants white women on board with the sister code. Building an alliance continues, which is quite interesting. Shout out to See the God, says Little Big Nate on today. He is must see TV. Let's go. Absolutely. Iron Sea Attic in the building. Shout out to you coming through, putting five on it. Where is it at? Shout out to you dropping five. Says, let's get this show started. Salute BR and family. Absolutely. What is going on? Manny Never Tells in the building says, what's good? No live yet. I don't know what you're talking about. We live. Shout out to 843 Slim Vision, 843 Slim Vision in the building. Shout out to Hatati Ra. Shout out to Titan TV. Shout out to the Standard RLC. Says my membership payment went through today, so I'm here. You could be here whether your membership payment go through, but those membership payments are funny. I think because I got my, yeah, I think some of my membership payments, people I've members to, didn't go through because I got to switch some accounts over. So yeah, it'd be weird. It'd be weird. It'd be weird. I had the debit card that was some fraud on it. I canceled it, got a new debit card, but I think the membership was set up to that debit card. So I gotta play with that too. I gotta play with that too. It'd be always issues when you got a membership with something. It don't go through, then it go through late, then you get your membership dropped, then you sign back up. It's yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, but either way it go. Shout out to you, Salute you. Appreciate you being a member. Shout out to Prince Revolver. And speaking of the next person I clicked on there, Nate Dogg 74. Shout out to Lil Big Nate, who is on board once again for another Sunday show. This is the double or triple hitter here.
This is number 3, I believe.
This is number 3. All right, so cool. Yeah, this is third time on
Might
Sunday.
Be turning into something.
Yes, it's officially a thing now.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's officially a thing now. But what's going on? Welcome aboard. We was talking about a number of things in the back of getting ready for the show. And we'll go in a little bit on this, but we'll still, keep it cool because we do want to leave this up. But as I mentioned in my little pre-intro ramble, so to speak, Kyrie Irving is getting back on the court today, and I'm excited about that. I haven't been watching that much basketball, but I haven't been watching that much basketball this year. I like LeBron James, and the Lakers already sucked. Then he got injured, so it's like I've been halfway watching, but but I am excited. Kyrie back on the court, but before he got back on the court, he apparently had to issue another apology to those people. What do you call them?
Whoa! We have to be careful. I use the term that the Bible uses to describe an elite group of secular members of the Jewish community. The Bible refers to this group as the synagogue of Satan, not Nate. So anyone angry about that term would have to go label the Bible as anti-Semitic, not me.
All right. I was about to pull up Kyrie Irving's new public apology, but right when I was doing that, I noticed something, and I want to show you guys. Y'all are sharing this moment with me. Y'all see right there on my subscriber count. I normally don't brag or make a big fuss.
Snap!
But yeah, I hit the 20K mark right while we're sitting here. Right while we're sitting here.
You were celebrating what, 12 or 13 not too long ago.
I was celebrating 12 or 13 less than 2 months ago, man. Yeah,
Holy shit.
I had some videos. I had some videos go viral. And they were just little short videos, very easy to produce. Here, there they are, right there. One of it right, I think y'all can still see that. Hopefully, y'all can still see that. Hold on, let me blow it up a little more. One of them just talking about the situation with 50 Cent and his son. I made a short. It went viral, got 1.3 million views.
Holy
and the other one,
moly, yeah.
And they still getting views, by the way. And this one right here that got 500.
Also, holy shit.
The one right here that got 537K. That one, that was just called. He thought she, with quotation marks, was a man. He thought she was a man. I was just breaking down and explaining the situation, how a dude got tricked and extorted by some he-she's that kind of hooked up with him or whatever. He said they didn't have sex, but they did something. I don't know, but but either way it go, they tried to extort him after the fact. And so I just did a little breakdown of that, saying, basically saying they should be brought on charges, basically. And it's viral algorithm. This thing is still getting like 700 views it's getting hundreds of views per hour still. Put it like that. Hundreds of views per hour. So it's still on a good hour, it may get 700 to 900 views. So it's still hitting them views. And some of my other shorts have done well. Hold on. Where's it's another one over there that got 55K, another one got 69K. That one, oh shit, I didn't mean to even pull that up. One about Kanye got 25K. Those shorts get in the algorithm, you pick up new subs. So that's just a
I need to do
thing.
that. I definitely need
Yeah,
to
oh, definitely. Yeah. Put your a good epic little Big Nate rant in a short. They're like you made for that. you can
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, Bernard, because on this Shaquilla woman issue, I'm
yeah.
about to upload it's not a short, but it's going to be maybe about 10 minutes long, where I'm going to rant on Black culture, the type of satanic ABWs we find in feminism and on the left, and also the weak, effeminate Black men that were also in that video. I'm about to upload something that's about 12 minutes long, where I tear it to pieces, and we'll see if that goes viral.
Yeah, do that and stick with it. You're gonna get disappointed because you're gonna do some of them where you're gonna spit some fire and it's only gonna get just a small amount of views.
I'm used to that, dog. I'm used to that.
Yeah. So it'll get frustrating. So, but I mean, I don't even got to give you a pep talk on that, because when it comes to sticking to it, that's you all day. So yeah, I know. But so yeah, definitely do that. And if you can sum up what you got to say in 1 minute, and then I probably have to show you. It's some extra stuff you got to do to make sure that your short post as a short and it get into the thing called the short feed, to where they actually put it out there. So, but anyway, let's get on to it. But hey, thank you everybody who's congratulating me. I see people in the chat congratulating me on the 20K subs. Shout out to all of y'all. I do see y'all down there. Appreciate all your support, all your help, and all the new people. Hey, hey, much love. But let's go ahead and get into it. Counselor Murray, been around since damn near day one, says congrats on the 20K. Shout out to you. Appreciate you coming through on the super chat end. But let's get into this Kyrie Irving apology thing. Now, at the beginning of it is me talking for like 7 seconds, where I do explain something. I want to see if you subtly catch what I try to explain here after you hear him talk. But let's go. Hold up, I gotta start it over.
While subtly,
gotta start it over. Hold on.
Kyrie Irving issued a public apology to the Jews while subtly simultaneously.
Oh, my bad.
Kyrie Irving issued a public apology to the Jews while subtly simultaneously still saying that he was Semitic. Listen.
I don't have hate in my heart for the Jewish people or anyone that identifies as a Jew. I'm not anti-Jewish or any of that. And it's been difficult to sit at home with my family, with them seeing all of this and having questions. And, the part that hasn't been hard is explaining myself, because I know who I am. I know what I represent. But I think the difficult aspect is just processing all this, and understanding the power of my voice, the influence I have. I'm no one's idol, but I am a human being that wants to make impact and change. I'm sorry to not only the Jewish community, but to my family members and to my relatives, because they know I stand for something bigger, and I'm grateful now I get to explain myself.
Kyrie Irving issued a.
All right. There it is right there. I'm gonna try to stop sharing if I can do this right. I don't got the screen up for some reason. Wait a second. Okay, I'm having technical difficulties. Y'all probably don't see nothing, but for some reason, Nate, are you even there?
I'm here, man. I'm good.
All right, what are you seeing on the screen? Because I can't see shit. Hold on.
I just see me and you.
Okay, then we can just carry on. You can give your analysis, and I can fumble over here on my own and try to figure out what's wrong with my screen. Problem. But there it is, right there. What's your immediate takeaway?
The only problem I have is him apologizing to the quote unquote Jewish community, because he didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing for him to apologize for.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies become worthless if you apologize when there's no need to. It's like Dr. Umar calling anyone who might be a Black woman beautiful. The term beautiful means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so an apology means nothing when you give it when there's no reason to. He shared a link. He said nothing. How can he apologize for something when he spoke not one word? It's illogical. And that's what he should stand on. And if black men would listen to me and call this particular group of people what I have referred to them as in this space, and what the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan referred to them as, because that's what the Bible calls them, the synagogue of Satan, they couldn't even argue with you, because ultimately, one of the biggest showdowns coming is these people saying that the Bible and the historical figure we know as Jesus is anti-Semitic. That's a war that they don't want. But if these quote unquote Christians, and I'm not a Christian, if these quote unquote Christians stood on what the Bible says, they'd have a lot more power against these people. And that's why the ministers never had to fold. The ministers never had to apologize, because the minister stands on that shit. He stands on it.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you did any content on it. I made a short about, I'm not a short, but just about an 8, 6, 7 minute pre-record on Dave Chappelle, how he did something that I'm glad that he did. He's like, he took the sting out of talking about it by talking about, things that we're not supposed to talk about. The only way that people can
Well, the
always
ADL
talk about
attacked him, Bernard.
Yeah, I know that was what my content was on.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But but the things that we're not supposed to talk about, he talked about it in the one way that we can talk about it, and that is through jokes. And it's like they're mad. They were mad that he essentially normalized it. You know what I mean? It's like he took the sting out of it when he said that, if it's if it's black people, it's a gang. If it's Italian people, it's a mob. If it's Jewish, man, then it's a coincidence, and you're not supposed to talk about it. like that's like that right there, like, does it all and says it all. So I love when Dave Chappelle did that, and then they did the normal routine of, why are they promoting, why is our trauma being laughed at and mocked? And he ain't said nothing about your trauma. He ain't said nothing about your pain. He ain't say nothing about the event that happened.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say nothing about that.
He
but
didn't
it's like
say one word, Bernard.
Yeah, they trot that out. It's crazy. It is.
How do you apologize when you didn't say anything? Didn't make any sense.
But what do you think about that? About the Kyrie Irving? He said something like, I had an opportunity to, explain myself, and that was the easy part, explaining myself, because I know who I am, or I know, you know what I mean? It's like, because when he was giving that first apology that they wasn't happy with, he was saying, I can't be anti-Semitic because I know who I am.
He's a Semitic person. Yes,
I know. So it's like, even in this apology, that's what I think a lot of people
took
miss.
A little swipe, which is good.
Yeah, even in his apology, he did basically still stand on something. It's like, it's a weird thing going on where they're like, okay, I gotta go ahead and get perp walked through the social media streets. I gotta put on a dunce hat and apologize, but but they're still gonna, say something coded, so to speak. And that's like, I don't like that they got to get perp walked. I mean, I don't like that they're doing that.
Understood.
I don't like it, but I did notice a little swipe, a little jab was floated out there. I did notice that. So,
well, at the end of the day, black men should take notice. Kyrie is playing for the Nets again. So it's not that the members of this particular community are so forgiving and so, willing to put willing to let bygones be bygones. No, they did feel the pressure of so many people siding with Kyrie Irving, and decided, because ultimately these people are masterful business people, and they know that this was bad for business. If everybody was on board the Luciferian leftist media's idea, oh, Kyrie's a bigot, Kyrie's anti-Semitic. But no, even though I've seen no polls to suggest this, my heart tells me the vast majority of the American public who are tuned into this are siding with Kyrie Irving.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. That's in fact, that's quite clear that that's what's going on. It's quite clear that that's what's going on. That most people are siding, even a few celebrities. Well, Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp, almost on cue, like they had a private meeting, or as some people would say, they were told by their handlers that it's okay to side with Kyrie. But they like they on cue started backing Kyrie. It was interesting. But moving on. I did just want to touch on that. You normally, have an interesting take on Kyrie and those that we don't speak of more specifically. But yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the main topic in the title here. Let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to pull this
kind of all
on.
know the statistic that 50.
Oh, wait, I didn't want that right there like that. Let's make that like, nope, not there. Right there. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get into this. Let's hit the like button. Let's hit the like button and get ready to go. Let's get it.
I think we kind of all know the statistic that 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump. And that's huge. Right. That's kind of shocking.
And I often have this conversation with people. They say, well, what am I supposed to say? It's such a difficult conversation because I asked the question on Labor Day before the election, what was the conversation that you were having with your mom, your aunt, sisters, and others about the election?
That the host of this is Rashida Jones. That's the lady from Parks and Recreation. She's a famous actress. She is the daughter of Quincy Jones. Okay.
Wait a minute. You talking about this chick? That chick on the screen, or you talk? Oh, wait, hold on.
The host.
Oh, I know you. That chick.
Yeah, that's Rashida Jones. That's Quincy Jones's daughter. Okay, she's a famous actress. I just want you to know who these people are. That's all.
Yeah,
and Tamika Mallory.
Right, I know her.
Well-known feminist, leftist, activist, Democrat, and a nightmare woman. Yeah. And have you had your conversations as if Black women are in charge of the Black community? Everything she's about to say, you're about to hear from her, confirms that the ABW, the American Black woman, is absolutely in charge of Black America politically. All right. And this is one of Black America's biggest problems. How can a group of women demand their quote unquote men be leaders when every opportunity they get, they flex to the world how much in control and in leadership they are? Somebody tell me that. I wonder how many Black women we'll have talking in the chat, because there was none talking the last time I was up here. And they'll listen. Just let me know. Thank you.
All right, let's roll it.
To people, they say, well, what am I supposed to say? It's such a difficult conversation because I asked the question on Labor Day before the election. What was the conversation that you were having with your mom, your aunt, sisters, and others about the election? Because Black women, regardless of whether we liked Hillary Clinton or not, whatever those issues may have been, we understood what we had to go and do.
Pause.
So on Labor Day, we were in.
Whether we liked Hillary in the conservative movement, we call her Killary. She is a war criminal. She meets the Geneva Convention's definition of a war criminal. She is a war criminal. And despite whether Black women like her or don't, we know what we have to do. What is it you have to do as Black women, Miss Mallory? We have to line up behind whatever white, devil, liberal, Luciferian woman or man that the Democrats put up. That's the instructions this nightmare woman, Tamika Mallory, is giving to all of Black female America. And this is why Black female America fails so miserably at having husbands, families, and relationships with any kind of man.
But it sounds like also what she's doing, and let me know what you think about this, is that there's a level of instruction in there, like she's talking to white women. I mean, that's what the conversation is predicated on. Like, white women, didn't vote for Hillary. So when she's saying, what conversations are you having with your mothers, with your aunts, with, you know, with basically with the women, she's essentially saying to, I interpret it as she was saying it to white people or white women, like, what are y'all talking about? Like, what's the discussion that y'all are having beforehand? Like, we know as Black women the discussion
We're
that
going to
we're
get behind
having.
her. How come all you other white women ain't? Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
but she's saying, but I think what she's saying is, you know, the white women who did vote for Hillary, did you not know that your sister wasn't voting for? Did you not know that your mother wasn't voting for? Did you not know that your aunt or cousin wasn't voting for? Like, why wasn't y'all having that conversation? And then it turns to she's essentially saying that they're essentially saying that it's a difficult conversation to have. So basically, so she's trying to you know, embolden white women to make sure that they're talking to other white women, like how Black women ultimately, as she's saying, make sure that they're galvanizing everybody who's Black, man, woman, child, otherwise, to rally behind the right cause. She's basically saying y'all are not having internal discussions like we are to make sure that everybody around y'all is voting.
Well, you know why?
How they're supposed to vote.
Do you know why? Because more and more white American women are lining up behind their best and brightest men, which are the conservative Republican men in the white community. White men are voting for the GOP to the tune of 75% now. The white male Democrat is, for the most part, extinct. He's gone. He's toast. He's the weirdo, lice-ridden Antifa that you see on occasion. The same lice-ridden Antifa goofy Greg Mathis told Black men to go get behind and follow Black women to follow. The same Antifa that Mr. Engo, that reporter we talked about, has several community tab posts showing Antifa as convicted pedophiles. Their records are public. Antifa after Antifa after Antifa have child molestation charges and pedophilia charges against them. And Greg Mathis told us to follow them and follow Black women into the streets of America. This is what you get with leftist Black men and Democrat leftist Black women. You get absolute chaos.
All right. Yeah, I was trying to look something up, but okay, let's go.
In the kitchen cooking, saying you got you straight, right? You got your ID and everything that you need.
Let me back up some.
Regardless of whether we liked Hillary Clinton or not, whatever those issues may have been, we understood what we had to go and do. So on Labor Day, we were in the kitchen cooking, saying you got you straight, right? You got your ID and everything that you need, you know? And if I have to have a conversation with my son, who, by the way, thinks that I'm the only thing between him and fun, but, you know, but that's another day.
He's 18.
A different panel. But anyway, if I have to have a conversation with him every
you
time
pause
he
real
leaves
quick?
the house, that, listen, if you
Hold
are
on.
approached by a police officer, keep your
Real
hands
quick.
up, keep your head.
Yeah.
Look at her left ring finger and notice there's no ring on it. I just wanted to point that out. She's got a son, no husband. Classic Black American woman on the left.
Yeah, get out of there, Winthrop. He said you wasn't cooking. Stop it. But no, she's getting into something. This kind of segues and like she's in a roundabout way making a point, saying, but she's smuggling in more victim stuff into it. But let's hear that part. I do want to get your response to that.
Have a conversation with my son, who, by the way, thinks that I'm the only thing between him and fun, but, you know, but that's another day.
He's 18.
A different panel. But anyway, if I have to have a conversation with him every time he leaves the house, that, listen, if you are approached by a police officer, keep your hands up, keep your head down, say yes, sir. If you're approached by another person in a community who may want to harm you, these are the things that you need to do as a survival method. Even if you are in the right, you still need to bow down in that moment so that you can come home alive.
Oh
you
my
damn
God.
sure can
you
have a
pause this?
conversation.
All right. Yeah, no, we trust me. We was on the same page right there. All right. So here's the deal with that. she's saying every time her son leaves the house, she gives him a pep talk about the
Lie.
police, like, which is it doesn't work that way. I'm a man, I have sons. You don't have to do a police pep talk every time they leave the house. However, it is worthwhile to make sure that, hey, this is a protocol. You get pulled over, yeah, you do keep your hands where they can see them. You do have your stuff already set and ready to go. Your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance, have it all in one spot. You know where that is, and then
But Bernard,
you
I
got it,
have an
you
issue.
got it
I
ready to
got an
go.
issue.
So you hold on real quick.
Sure.
It is a conversation worth having, that you just got to make sure that they just understand the basic procedure of when you happen to get pulled over. My oldest son is 20. My oldest son just turned 20.
Oh,
He's
wow.
been driving for a while. He's never been pulled over. Hasn't been pulled over yet. So this isn't a conversation you gotta have. You gotta constantly have. But you do want to make sure that they just understand the basics of, keep your hands where you can see them, and keep all your driver's license, proof, registration, proof of insurance right there in one spot, so you can just hand it to them and be done with it and get it over with. But go ahead.
There's something you missed, Bernard.
Go ahead. Oh no, go ahead.
She said, bow your head.
I was going to get to
Under
that.
no circumstances have I ever told my son to bow his head to anybody.
Mhm.
I'll be damned to hell before I tell my alpha male warrior son to bow his head. And white police don't ask you to bow your fucking head to them. But she sets up her black son to be a subservient, weak, effeminate male. And this is why Black American women should not be raising their sons after the age of 5 or 6, because you turn them into nothing more than you with a penis.
It's actually worse than what you just described, because you notice she's talked about the police, and then she transitioned to really a non-police interaction, and then doing what you got to do, just bow down in that situation to make sure that you survive. She's talking about it from the perspective like random, like almost like what LeBron James said, like we're being hunted every day as soon as we leave the house, like random white people.
Well, that's what Biden said. Black people are afraid to leave the house. He said that during his campaign. Because of white police or police, black men, before you leave the house, Bernard, you stick your head out and you look both ways as far as you can, and then you put your head back in the house, and then you tiptoe out. That's what the Democrats believe.
And that's what Tamika Lowry is perpetuating there.
Exactly.
She's perpetuating the notion that black people, particularly even black men, because I'm 40, my son is 20. Somebody said they thought I was 35. No, I'm 40, and my son is 20. So this woman may very well be 40 as well, or close to 40. She's going to have a 20-year-old pretty soon, and she's raising him to be doing like what Nate just described, poking his head out, tiptoeing, bowing down, all of that. Like, put it like, this is where I'm at with it. And this is one thing that does annoy me when black people are having these conversations. Police interactions I've had a lot of them. I've been pulled over a lot. I get pulled over. Not lately, but I've been pulled over. I've been pulled over enough times. It's not a bow down situation. It's I was speeding or I wasn't speeding. That's normally what it was. And typically when I get pulled over for speeding, I was speeding.
Thank you.
So it's driver's license, registration.
It wasn't racism that had you pulled over?
No. And so
okay.
Yeah. Over time, I figured out that, okay, I got my stuff right in the same spot. I remember where it's at. I hand it right to him. And then, you tell me that I was doing 55 and a 45, and whatever the ticket is for that, okay, I got to pay that ticket. And that's just the end. That's the end of it. That's what it is. So
Bernard,
that's why I say the only pep talk that's necessary. The only pep talk that's necessary is just making sure that your son understands the basic fundamental protocol and what's expected when you get pulled over, and what you're expected to have and what you're expected to do, and don't do nothing stupid. That's it. That's it. But go ahead.
Before COVID, my job, I was a field appraiser. Now I work from home quite a bit. COVID changed the job a lot. But before COVID, I was driving over 50,000 miles a year to go look at claims. I got pulled over maybe once or twice every couple of years. I was always in the wrong, going a little too fast. And in 20 years of doing auto damage estimating, 20 years of having a company car from whatever insurance company I worked for, I got 2 tickets. 2. Because I know how to talk to a cop. I don't bow my fucking head to anybody, but I also do know how to respect male authority. And when male authority pops up, I'll be respectful until I can't be. But I've never had a cop get me into a position where I couldn't be respectful to him because he wants to go home too. Unlike these stupid leftist niggas who follow black women will tell you all white cops are out to kill you.
Perfect Storm in the building says, hold on, I can't see. Okay, yeah, Perfect Storm in the building with $5 super chat. I do appreciate that. He said the ABW like Hillary because they are both. Oh, wow, eugenicists. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Can't argue with that. I didn't know where that was going. I didn't know he was going there with it. But
yes,
yeah.
well, not all black women. We have to be honest. There are black women that don't agree with abortion. And I said this, I don't know what channel I was on, but a few months ago, I said we have to tip our hat to black women when it comes to abortion. And this is why. Largely because of the Republican Party, the pro-life movement, and conservatives, black women reduced their abortions literally by half in the 1980s. And I have the proof. Black women were getting over 500,000 abortions during the 80s. Right before the reversal of Roe v. Wade, it's 250,000 a year. Still horrible, but it has been cut in half in 30 years.
All right, let's roll some more.
The things that you need to do as a survival method, even if you are in the right, you still need to bow down in that moment so that you can come home alive. You damn sure can have a conversation with your mother about who she's going to vote for.
Exactly. Absolutely.
They wonder why their men don't leave.
So how do you, Linda, I mean,
and
this
they
is
clap.
an interesting subject to me because it does feel like a gap that we need to bridge. How do you talk to somebody? How do you make somebody see the privilege that they don't see?
I think oftentimes the privilege is of not having to even interact with anyone that is not like you. I mean, I've been to parts of the country in places like Nebraska and Idaho, and they literally will sit and have
the privilege. They're talking about white women. So every white woman in the country is privileged. I told you I'm an auto damage appraiser. I have visited every type of human being in this country imaginable. I cannot tell you the number of poor, destitute, broken white women in trailer parks and out in rural armpit America that I've had to go look at in the car of and write an estimate on that had nothing. But these stupid Democrat leftist nightmare monsters will lead you to believe every goddamn white woman in this country is a princess sitting on her golden throne looking down on every other race of women. This is why you cannot listen to the Luciferian left or Democrats. They are garbage, especially the women.
a conversation with me and say and interact with anyone that is not like you. I mean, I've been to parts of the country in places like Nebraska and Idaho, and they literally will sit and have a conversation with me and say, I've never sat and spoken to a Muslim before. I've seen them, but I've never spoken to them before. And I think in this moment that we're in right now, we have to challenge each other and have these difficult conversations. People challenged us at the Women's March, and they said that, you know, I see a lot of tension on the Facebook page, and I told the lady from the New York Times, I said, this is not by accident, this is by design. The reason why we're in the situation that we are in is because we don't want to talk about race, we don't want to talk about class, we don't want to talk about exclusivity within the feminist movement, not looking at someone like me and saying, that doesn't look like a feminist to me. You know, that modest woman, that's not feminism. So
Wow.
What's
Yeah,
the
you can't be a woman not showing her tits and her stinking meatloaf and not be a feminist. Well, oh God, these women are so
they're telling on themselves right
on
there.
themselves. Yes,
They're telling on themselves if a modest woman with her head cover, no, she can't be a
you
part of
can't
our
be a feminist
movement.
unless you're a raggedy whore showing all of your adornments.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
The most decent, well presented of women. No, we there's there's no room for you over here. That's
And
essentially.
also, I've never met a Muslim that believes in abortion. Sure, she's gonna have a problem there too. And I've never met a genuine Muslim that believes in El Gibbet anything. That's gonna be a problem too for you,
Now,
madam.
and now here's an interesting dynamic here. Bill Maher actually points this out from time to time. When it comes to Muslim women and what goes on over there, now I understand this is a manosphere, and I know there are some people who jokingly and some people seriously,
Appreciate.
give kudos to the to
Our
some of them.
Afghani brothers. Yes.
Yeah.
And how they treat their women. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Taliban.
They got him in line over there. But in all seriousness though, he talks about how the left will try to call out any type of sexism or this or that or blah 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 blah. They'll go in. They'll try to impose their stuff all over. But when it comes to the Muslims, it's like they kind of leave that alone. You know what I mean? It's like I don't see. Yeah, it's like they're scared of that. But there is a there because the women coming from over there, they probably got I don't know all the odds and ends and details, and somebody can prove me wrong on this, but there's some stuff that happens over there where they got a legitimate fight. The women from over there, where it's probably some stuff going on over there where yeah, there probably is some human rights violations taking place.
Understood.
Yeah, I don't know all the full details. I'm not an expert, but it's probably some human rights violations taking place over there. But over here, that ain't what they're not fighting for that. So there's like a weird merge between somebody who's escaping something that more closely resembles some female oppression versus some people over here bitching about microaggressions. And when they get on the same stage together, it's like
it's an uncomfortable and illogical alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an interesting dynamic there.
I think we need to challenge each other and understanding that in this movement, we're not all going to agree. There are 340 million Americans, and we have 340 million opinions about 340 million.
Like, I know any feminist talking to her want to tell her how that head covering is oppressive. I know they want to tell her. I know they want to tell her.
God forbid she be married. How dare you be married to a man? Oh, you cannot have the full expression of womanhood under the boot and repressive and oppressive domination of a husband. That's not possible, according to many Black women.
Oh shit! I didn't mean to knock it. Rewind it. Hold on, wait. There you go. I didn't mean to do that.
Before, and I think in this moment that we're in right now, a lot of tension on the Facebook page. And I told the lady from the New York Times, I said, this is not by accident. This is by design. The reason why we're in the situation that we are in is because we don't want to talk about race. We don't want to talk about class. We don't want to talk about exclusivity within the feminist movement.
That's all we talk about,
not
dummy.
looking at someone.
That's all we talk about. Yeah. That's all the media talks about. She's a liar just like all the leftist pigs, male and female. They lie. All Democrats and leftists know how to do is lie. That's it. You can't have an honest conversation with a Democrat or a leftist. Several of those conversations have been attempted on the Bernard Riley show, and they usually go left, which means chaotic. That's not a coincidence either. Going left is problematic. That's not a coincidence either. You can't have a logical conversation with people who are only determined to lie and destroy shit. And that's what leftists and Democrats are determined to do.
Here's the deal, though. if they're arguing that they're in the situation that they're in, and that situation is white women not being fully on board with women of color and getting the causes done, and they're saying that, well, it's because we're not having these conversations about race, which, like you rightfully pointed out, those conversations are happening all the damn time. They're all over the place. So that it's almost like they're in denial or just outright avoiding getting down to the core and the crux of why is such an overwhelming percentage of white women not siding with them or not going in their direction. It's like they're the question and the answer are both staring them in the face, but they're just walking around it. They're just walking around it.
Wow. What a great point. And the simple fact, they're angry at the fraction of the sisterhood. White women are saying, to hell with you, disgusting, lonely, useless, used up, ran through nightmare whores. I'm going to go get behind the best and brightest of my men and see if I can work shit out now. White guys are the largest cohort of men that date out. White men been on that passport bro shit for decades. So the white man's been going about his goddamn business. And now black men are understanding maybe we need to do that too. I'm not saying you don't date black women. I'm saying be very careful of the type of black woman you deal with. And if she's a Democrat, she's only good for one thing. I'm sorry. I'm not going to go into it on my brother's channel, but she's only good for one thing.
We talk. No, that's cool. We talk about that here. But what if, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
What if she's a Democrat but she haven't really thought about it?
I got no problem with that. We are all in different stages of development. I don't hold against you having voted Democrat. That's black people's default setting. And so is terrible, ruined black female leadership. Okay. And that's what it is on the left. So I'm not, even though it seems like it, Lord knows, because I've been in this space for 3.5 years now, tearing Democrats to pieces. And those are the only people I attack. I don't attack individuals in this space who haven't bothered me. The only group that I've attacked in this space is the left. And look, I mean, again, we're all at different stages of our development. If you're ready to walk away from the plantation, as Candace Owens and others have suggested we do, then we welcome you. Little Big Nate, brother Nitty, there's a brother Nitty 77. He calls me the mayor of the Black Manosphere. I told Nitty, I said, I appreciate that, bro, but I'm not the mayor. All I want to do is build out the conservative wing of this house known as the Black Manosphere, big, strong, and powerful. I don't want to harm any other wing. We can be an example for all the other wings, but I'm building out the black conservative wing of this manosphere. That's what I'm going to do. I don't ask for permission. I'm not demanding anybody come along with me. You come along with me if you are a like-minded man and you see the benefit of it. But I'm going to get us, along with the executive council and the brothers that work with me, I'm going to get us to a seat at the table of power where we can have our concerns heard. That's what I'm going to do. Now, it makes niggas mad that this guy with this little channel seems to have this power and influence. I hate this nigga. I hate the way he talks and that I don't talk like that. I hate he makes so much money on his little channel. Jealousy is one of the primary effeminate characteristics. Being a jealous man is disgusting and it's offensive. No man should be jealous of another man. There were guys in the space that seemed to be jealous of KC, and it's a bad look. Excuse me, KS. And it's
I was about to
really
say,
look.
no, that's true.
My apologies. And that's how they came across, and that's a terrible look for a man. I celebrate other people's success as a conservative, and especially a black man's success. I celebrate black men's success and people's success, but in particular black men, because I'm one of them.
Right.
And that's
Right.
what we do. In the conservative side of things, we celebrate success. Unlike our opponents, one of which was on your platform not too long ago and wants to redistribute the wealth. I don't want to redistribute the wealth. I want brothers to get wealthy and keep it, and they can donate it and spread it around themselves the way they feel. Not some
Or invest.
goddamn pot-bellied pedophile, pig-ass politician taking our money and giving it to whoever he wants to. Fucking lunatics.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say, I would like to see more brothers who got the money, got it going on like that. I just had this conversation with Wizard, with Black Wizard, Black Wizard Ados, where I was basically saying that to the extent that there's an amount of pro-blackness in me where, yes, I do want to see the brothers who are successful, who got money like that, who got it going on like that. Yeah, get the experts around you and have them eye out, Black businesses that got promise and invest in it. And then that Black business comes up, becomes a vertical Black business, hires more Black people, makes more money, and then you make your money back. I don't like this idea of donating. And I mean, donating is fine if you want to do it, but that give back to the community. No, make business investments in it and make more money off of it. And then and then so in that sense, we're talking about, conservative. There's something to conserving the Black dollars. Is something to that in my assessment.
Well, Bernard, when Black people were Republicans and conservatives during the late 1800s, early 1900s, the Black dollar, this is an irrefutable fact, circulated in the Black community 3 to 5 years. As liberal Luciferian Democrats on the left, and I don't care what you niggas in the chat say, dog. Oh, it's two sides of the same coin, two wings of the same bird. You niggas don't even know what you're talking about.
Hey, Nate, hold on. I was just about to trigger you. And shout out to Perfect Storm. He says game will defeat feminism. Man, get out of there, Kaplan. But I was about to trigger you. I was about to trigger you with this comment. Damn it, I can't find it no more.
Well, I've been looking at them. These niggas don't know what
somebody came there. There you go, right there. I was about to trigger you with what I was gonna say. But Nate,
both sides no. He's right. He's correct. That is a technically correct statement. Both sides lie. One side is promoting the rape and molestation of children. The other side seeks to protect children. Who are you gonna vote for, nigga? Who are you gonna vote for if you vote?
I would like for you to get because Wizard, I did a real good interview with Black Wizard Ados.
I don't know who that is. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I know. He comes on my channel. He supports my channel periodically. He's the type of person who has really insightful questions. He'll $20. He'll periodically $20 super chat a really insightful question that kind of drives the conversation forward. I know y'all probably got some disagreement, but he a good interviewer, and he was asking me a lot about the politics and everything. Sort of the politics of the conservative side of the Black manosphere and all of that. And I was sitting there thinking, I want him to talk to. I want him to chop it up with Nate on that. So
yeah, you want to know about conservatives, and you come talk to me.
Yeah. I was going to make that suggestion because he's kind of making the rounds, interviewing quite a few people. His channel is small, but he supported a lot of people, so people don't mind coming to his channel. So he's making around supporting a lot of people. So I kind of do want to hook the two of you up. But anyway, let's move. I saw Deanie down there. I saw Deanie. Yeah. He gonna always get branded over here as the as the wealth redistributor. He's gonna always get branded as that. But
our good buddy deny the truth. Deny that he's a Democrat. These niggas are all the same. I have been brutalizing and destroying these niggas for almost 17 years. It's a game to me now. I beat these niggas by 50 points when I debate them. It's disgusting.
But shout out to everybody in the building. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. And appreciate all of the super chats, and I don't know if I got a banner scroll that I can scroll at the bottom of Little Big Nate's Cash app. I probably have to make one. I'm trying to see if I already had one in the
I'll
chamber.
put it in the chat if you don't mind, bro.
Yeah, put it in the chat, but I do want to have it scrolling at the bottom. Well, put it in the. Well, actually, just type it out exactly. Type it in the private chat so I can use it and copy paste it and make a banner.
All right, no
But
problem.
then also drop it in the chat and your links to the channel. The moderators who post links, the real moderators.
Yeah,
I don't think they're not here today. But
if I could, yeah, I'm still struck on Nate Dogg 74. I've been trying to stream on Little Big Nate show too, but I'm only getting like 20 people, man, and it's kind of discouraging. And yeah, I'm still, pushing through, but if I could give 40, 50 people on the Little Big Nate show too, it would make it all the worthwhile. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
come through and I'll give you There Will Be Blood and Nightmare on Elm Street and all the wonderful things I'm known for in this space. So.
All right. Says I want to see Little Big Nate debate BGS. That'd be an epic one.
Well, I've called BGS out a few times and I haven't heard a response. So I've called him out though, because let's be honest, Bernard, the last time he was on your stream, he attacked me. Every criticism, he never said my name, but because I called out something he said in the chat and he knows he said it, every disparate little snide remark he made was about me. It was directed at me. And since then, I've called him out a few times. Nigga, let's debate.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see y'all have a discussion about something. But yeah, there was some cheap shots and jabs, and I was a little confused on who I thought it was directed or targeted at somebody. I didn't, I let BGS rock. I didn't know who he was talking about, but I could tell it was something directed at somebody. I could tell that much. But but no, it's it'll be a good conversation, and it'll be a good conversation. But either way it go, Captain Cisco in the building. Do appreciate the super chat. Let's get back into it. Okay, yep. Now there's. All right, cool. I can copy that and make a banner. But all right, let's roll the rest of this and let's go.
Like me and saying, that doesn't look like a feminist to me. That modest woman, that's not feminism. So I think we need to challenge each other and understanding that in this movement, we're not all going to agree. Mm-hmm. There are 340 million Americans and we have 340 million opinions about 340 million things. But as long as we can agree that we have a misogynist, sexist, Islamophobic, white supremacist regime in the White House, I think we can all work together.
All right, so Little Big Nate, why are you siding with the, hold on, what did she say? The
supremacist regime
hold on, gotta make sure we get it right.
About 340 million things. But as long as we can agree that we have a
now why are you siding with the
misogynist, sexist, Islamophobic, white supremacist regime in the White House, I think we can all work together.
That's what you have to explain as a Black conservative. Why are you siding with all that, Little Big Nate?
Well, I've said several times since I started coming on panels 3.5 years ago, I would split a turkey. Now, I don't eat at Subway. It's been years since I bought a sandwich at Subway. But I would split a turkey and Swiss on whole grain wheat bun. I'd split that sandwich with a Klansman and eat it with him before I would Stacey Abrams. And that's dead ass facts. If that Klansman has a family and wants something good for his children, I got more in common with him than I would Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams and I have nothing in common except the color of our skin. That's it. None of our ideology matches up. None. I will rock with that. And every term she used is a lie. Donald Trump's history was the exact opposite of that. Donald Trump loves women. One of the few presidents I'm comfortable saying loves women.
I mean, he loves them in a certain way.
He loves them the way we love them. Let's be honest.
He loves them young, hot, and naked.
And what man doesn't? What man doesn't love a woman that way? Right. Thank you. and whether black men who vote with their women like cowards, okay, whether they have the cojones to admit that or not, that's how most men are. They love beautiful young hot women. Islamophobe, that's a lie. He tried his best to bring all these wars against terror, which destroy Muslim countries, to an end. Sexist, man, get the fuck out of here. These women, they're Democrats and they're liars, just like the weak, effeminate black men that follow Democrat women. You weak, unaccomplished niggas with nothing. I've been calling you out for 3.5 years, and when one of you does get the guts to come against me, I mop the fucking floor with you. There is nothing for us on the left. You can be critical of the right all you want. And Lord knows I can handle all of you in a debate on that too. Because there's plenty of things for black men on the political right side of the spectrum. Niggers are mad that it's not labeled for black men. And that's why so many of you niggas will continue to fail. You want somebody to stick their thumb in your ass, and they're not. The GOP doesn't do that. You're not accustomed with how politics run on this side of the political aisle. You want somebody to stick their thumb in your fucking ass, and we're not going to do it. Do you want a 15% capital gains tax as a man that wants to open up a business? Then the GOP is where you need to be. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, nigga. You niggas are clowns. Well, why don't we have something for the black man? Why don't you want to take care of the black man? You can't bring your victimhood ideology over here. We don't get down like that. And if you're really mad at me, bring your ass up here. And we'll see how tough you are. Okay? You bold in the fucking chat. Come up here with me. Fucking niggas. Why don't you start listening and get out of your fucking feelings? Well, Nate, you're in your feelings. Nigga, I've been at war with these monsters for over 15 years. All right? I'm passionate. And yeah, there's even emotion sometimes. But I am sick of weak, effeminate black men. I am fucking sick of you niggas. And I'm not talking to everybody in the chat, of course. I'm only talking to a few of you. You'll just have to figure out who I'm talking to. Weak, effeminate black men who need everything to be written out for black men, for black men. This is for black men. Instead of seeing the benefit of low taxes, a secure border, school choice, and getting on board and getting busy doing something. Like we're doing with the Executive Council and the Manosphere meetup. What the fuck are you doing, dog? I'm in this space doing something. I'm building something. What the fuck are you doing? Answer that for me.
All right. Let's push pause. Well, this pause is going to be like pumping the brakes and then hitting the acceleration real fast after you read this. So Deanie sent a $10 super chat. Says, for Nate's Cash App, I sincerely feel sorry for you.
Aww.
You can be conservative without the anti-black stuff.
Oh, now I'm anti-black. I have a magnificent black son that's going to be a superstar. I have a beautiful black daughter, and now I'm anti-black. I'm anti-nigger. You're a nigger, deny. You're a hypocrite. You came up here, you got your head cut off, and now you're angry. Come back up here and I'll cut you up again, nigga. Nigger salad sandwiches for everybody.
I wouldn't call him a nigga in the way that in a way that you describe. Well, maybe you got a different definition. I wouldn't call him that. He's there are the people who politically float in the middle. I think he's not one of them. I think he swings really, really hard to the left and to the Democrat side of things.
Income redistribution, nigga, is about as leftist as you can get.
Yeah, and that's more or less his problem with you. That's the problem that y'all are gonna have.
Well, I don't have any problems with these niggas. I destroy them. That's what I do. Every time they come against me, I wipe the floor with them.
But no,
I've been doing this for 15 years, dog.
My point is, Nate, is that anybody who truly floats in the middle, they're not going to have that much of a problem. They're just going to be more of matter-of-fact type of tone. I disagree with you because, you know, of this point here. But for somebody that just have that, when somebody has that, I hate to even say his name, but you know the individual who has a absolute disdain for you, who you know,
And
policy,
I
nigga.
for him.
What's your policy? You know,
What are your policies? And
somebody
then
who has-
I have a clip of him saying, "Oh, I like conservative policies." Shout out to Hood Servative. He's the one that put it out. There's a clip of this lunatic, mentally ill nigga.
we're not going in. We're not going in.
Okay,
We're not
my
going
bad,
in.
my
We're
bad.
not going
There's a
in, but-
clip of him saying, "Oh, I like conservative policies. I've always liked conservative policies." Liberal niggas have nothing they stand on. They're garbage. And I've been calling it since I've been in this space. You can hate me all you want. What you can't do is prove me wrong. That's what you can't do. Okay?
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question, because I mentioned the wizard, Black Wizard Ados interview that I did, where he did ask me a question about Republican policies and everything. And I have to freely admit, and I admit all the time on my show, that I was clear, 100% clear on what I was walking away from when it came to Democrats and liberals, but I'm no, you know, Republican policy expert. So,
You don't have to be.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have
And
to be.
No, but hold on. Let me get my question out. And I conceded that, you know, a lot of it was more cultural. I see the way that the left is pushing the culture and how the Democrats basically push for, subsidize, and incentivize all the things that I think are destructive to the culture. And I know I can't stand with that. So, and I know my views are more conservative. I'm right of center. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm voting this way. As far as being a Republican policy expert, I'm not. But
You can
when it
talk to
comes,
me though.
what'd you say?
I'm no expert. I'm not claiming to be an expert, but I know enough about Republican policies. Look, let's go back to what I said real quick, Bernard.
Mhm.
Do you want to take home more of your money as a hardworking, quote unquote, industrious, responsible Black man? It's a simple yes or no question. If all these niggas in this space talk about starting a business, that's great. We should be talking about that. Capital gains is what you pay as a business owner. Do you want the lowest possible capital gains so you can reinvest your money in your business, in hiring more people, in acquiring more market share as a businessman? If the answer is yes, Bernard, you're a businessman, right?
Mhm.
Do you want a lower capital gains tax or a higher one?
Right.
No, is it low? Do you want lower or higher? I'm not sure.
Oh, obviously lower. Obviously, you want
Okay.
lower taxes.
Well, yeah, you would think it would be obvious to Black men.
It was a rhetorical question that didn't call for it. Didn't require an answer.
Okay,
That's why I didn't
gotcha,
answer it.
gotcha. Understood. So if you want a lower capital gains tax as a business owner or a potential business owner or a future business owner, why wouldn't you vote with the GOP? Well, Nate, because they racist and they full of white men's, and I scared of the white men's. I'm not scared of white guys. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry you are. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Somebody pointed out a misspelling. Hold on. Had to fix that. All right. Now we're back. I think I got that right now.
Yeah, LILBIGNAT. Yeah, if you'd like to hit the Cash App, I'd love to have you brothers support. The ultimate is to support Bernard Riley's platform. You have to support the Black male media that you want. You want Bernard Riley's show, you got to support it, brothers. You want the Little Big Nate show, you got to support it, man. You do. I'm 48 years old. I'm not doing none of this shit for vanity, nigga. I've been having people gather around me and listen to what I say since I was 22 years old. I'm so used to this. This is nothing to me. Now, if I can get 1 million subscribers, that's something. And I'm about to start my conservative channel. Keep on the lookout for that.
Speaking of that, let me ask you about this. So it's official. Your boy, the Donald, announced.
Yes.
Made the big announcement. What's your thoughts on that? Did you do a cartwheel or what? Like, how you feeling about Donald announcing that he's running again? And what do you think he's going to win? Because like the red wave didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Well, the red wave happened where there were Republican governors that weren't going to tolerate any bullshit. A red wave happened in Florida. Miami-Dade went Republican for the first time in who knows how long. And the reason it did, because they have a governor that wasn't going to tolerate cheating and lying, as were tolerated in several states, namely Arizona. Just an absolute robbery took place. You know, for lose. Oh, I love that sound. Did you hear that sound, Bernard? Oh my goodness, I love that sound.
That's pretty cool. I don't even know how to do that to make some little sound come through. You gotta put me up on game with that one, having a little sound come through. I be periodically checking my Cash App, you know, trying to see what's going on. But no, that's pretty cool.
No, but cool. Again, shout out to the Don. You know, I'm going to listen to the candidates. I'll listen to Mr. DeSantis, Governor DeSantis, if he chooses to run. I would absolutely listen to Rand Paul, who I voted for in 2016. I voted, and I said that on your show on the why I'm voting for Donald Trump. I voted for Rand Paul in 2016 on my mail-in ballot, because that's who I wanted to be president, Rand Paul. Okay, but yeah, to the Don, absolutely, man. And keep an eye out now. We're planning huge things for the Manosphere Meetup 2023. But wait till you see Manosphere Meetup 2024 and who we're attempting to get come talk to us. Just imagine how valuable a photo op with hundreds of conservative, Republican, independent, center-right, which is what the term CIRIC stands for. In June will be the first annual dinner for the men of CIRIC, center-right, independent, Republican, and conservative black men. The only type of black men I'm worried about. All this, we got to come together, we got to unify, we got to be the black community. Nigga, don't come to me with that shit, because I don't believe it, and I never have. I'm the nigga that came here preaching separation. And that's exactly what I'm about. I want to work with like-minded men. The rest of the brothers can go do whatever they choose to do. The men that are with me, the men that rock like I rock and want to get busy doing the things that we're doing, all my critics are going to have to point to me to what you've built, okay? Because although I have a little channel, you'd be shocked at the numbers that are in my phone. You'd be shocked at the people that are in my phone that I'm talking to on a regular basis. As behind the scenes, I'm attempting to build something of significance with the Executive Council and Brother Sir Tice. You'd be shocked. Some of us are actually getting busy doing something. And you can ridicule and make jokes and act like Deny, who doesn't even know who and what he is. 1 minute he's like a black woman. 1 minute he brags about the money he makes. He said I make more money than anybody on this panel. And then the next minute, this lunatic leftist Negro is talking about income redistribution of the wealthy. Why would anybody want to become wealthy if you're going to take their money? Deny.
Let me ask you this.
Garbage.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that I mean, I like DeSantis. I said, well, put it like, well, let me ask you this first question. Do you think he's going to win?
I think, well, I'll be honest with you. There is a lot of cheating going on. There is a lot of cheating going on, though. And I can't even talk about it because it would put your channel in danger. My channel's been struck for talking about a particular woman, Rubeyfreeman. You can't even say her name, okay? She actually bragged about what she did on her Facebook and Instagram. The extent to which she went to alter the legitimate returns in the state of Georgia in 2020. So, you know what? We just need to get off of that. But, you know, shout out to all the Republican nominees that'll be running. As long as they're a genuine conservative, rhinos and neocons, you could burn them at the stake with these goddamn leftists for all I care.
All right. Let's move back on to the main topic here. But that was definitely a good segue or veering off. Well, real quick, Captain Cisco in the building says, would you and Lil Big Nate support Elon Musk for president and plan to build an asteroid mining industry for
Asteroid
America?
mining. I'm still
Uh,
my opinion of Elon Musk is still out, because although he purchased Twitter and promised to bring freedom of speech back.
Donald Trump, I think, got reinstated on Twitter.
Okay.
think
Well,
I-
actually, my son and I were talking last night at dinner. He told me Donald Trump hadn't been reinstated yet, but if that was wrong, cool.
Well, okay. I'm trusting
not
the
sure.
almighty Instagram and the shade room or something, whoever dropped that information. So it could be incorrect. It could
I'm
be
not
incorrect.
sure. I'll be honest. I'm just not sure. But I tell you who Elon Musk said he will not allow back on.
Who was that?
He said he won't allow Alex Jones back on, and that's a problem. That's a problem with me. Not that I believe everything Alex Jones says, but you're telling me Alex Jones didn't have the right to say Sandy Hook was I won't say the word.
But yeah,
he doesn't have the right as an American citizen to say that. Excuse me? Yeah, I got a problem with that. So yeah, I don't know about Elon, bro. I just don't know yet.
Yeah.
Yes, and Andrew Tate has been reinstated. Shrell Bentley said, yeah, that's actually true. My son and I talked about that last night at dinner too.
Yeah, that's what's up. I like to see him reinstating people. I don't want to see Alex Jones silenced, but I do. I think he do be tripping, but I don't want to see him silenced. So I'm with you. I'm with you on that. But Alex Jones be wilding.
He does. But does he not have the right to, as an American citizen, his opinion?
Yeah, and there's always been a slippery slope line when it comes to free speech. Like, yes, it's free, but you can't yell fire in a movie theater. That's the old saying.
That is true.
You know, so yes, it is free. And even when white guys in the white manosphere has built their free speech platform, and I've talked about this plenty of times, and they still have to regulate it. They say it's free speech, and as soon as they do that, the Nazis, and this is turd flinging monkey, his exact words. Some new people don't even know who he is because he's been off YouTube for a while. But he's a creator in the white manosphere, and he said whenever they create their platforms, they say it's free speech, and as soon as they create it, all of a sudden the Nazis and the pedos, the pedophiles, they show right up like, hey, you said free speech, right? So it's always it's always a line. It's always a line. I do want that line to be as far to as close to the cliff as possible, because I do want free speech. So
Rocket Man makes a point. Rocket Man makes a good point. He says free speech means the government can't stop you. But I would say in response to Rocket Man, Elon Musk talked about being a proponent of free speech. And if he is, Alex Jones has the right to say about Sandy Hook whatever he wants to. That's my point, Rocket Man. But Rocket Man is correct. A private company can block people off, but Elon Musk says he's a progenitor of free speech. So he has to give that to Alex Jones. That's my point, Rocket Man.
Well, yeah, if he wants to be consistent, he has to give that to Alex Jones.
And this is what he's claiming he is. So I'm waiting to see if it's true.
Yeah. You're holding him to what he said he is. But Mr. Negative Man, and shout out to him. He says you can yell. I think he said you can tell. I think he mean you can yell fire in a movie theater if there's a fire, of course. And he says you can't falsify anything or put people in danger.
No, you can lie. The freedom of speech gives you the freedom to lie. It does. That's not true. You have the freedom to lie. And the people that know you're lying have the freedom to call you out and embarrass you.
Right. But the last part of what he said is that put people in danger.
Now that's true. You can't bring harm on people. He's absolutely right there. But the falsifying things, you can lie. Now there's liable laws that protect people being lied on, but that we're heading down a slippery slope.
Yeah, and I did want to circle back to the main topic, but no, this is definitely a good segue. But real quick, Captain Cisco in the building, he says, "Would you in a little bit?" Oh wait, I already read that one. Damn it! I thought it was okay. I must have missed one, or it's another one somewhere that I don't have. But all right, I'll try to dig that up if I
please
miss.
send your super chats, and I'll be calling out my cash apps shortly. So please, you want to hit up your boy Nate, please do. We appreciate it. We're conservative.
Right.
I'm conservative, so we appreciate money, and we thank the people that give us money. We don't try to guilt them and then talk about income redistribution like a lunatic. I'm sorry. I just
Thank you for that. Thank you for redistributing some of your money to me, Deanie.
Thank you.
Of the disaffected Republican, primarily white. This myth of the disaffected Republican, primarily white women, has been.
I don't want to pull that graphic back up. Repetition is a mother of skill. I know some of you have seen this, but it doesn't get old looking at this. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Black men who voted for Trump. I say I didn't read the topic.
And look, this is old. This is 2016 versus 2020. So
but more white women. See, more white women voted. Yeah, across the board, even 2016.
Everybody.
And more 2016, more white women did. Black men got it up to 18%. Latino, they were moving upward. The others are
everybody, and it's a lie. White men didn't vote. That's a goddamn lie. The first number is not true. Something like 63% of white men. It was either 63 or 65% of white men voted for Trump in 2020. But yeah, everybody was moving towards Trump. I'm sorry, everybody. And he lost. Really? Again, I won't talk about it because I can't. But yeah, if they say so. But this bit of information is about the problem of white women voting GOP. Because even though we haven't talked much about it, the aim of this particular stream is why are white women voting with their men, and why are black men voting with their women, quote unquote, there, there denotes possession. We don't possess each other. I just want that to be clear. Niggas will attack me about that. But yes, they will. Yes, they will. But no, we don't belong to each other. But just for the sake of argument, that's the terms we're using. White American women, especially in the South, are voting with the best, the brightest, and the smartest of their men, the ones you'll find in the Republican Party and in conservatism. They're the most productive. They're the most charitable. The best people in our country exist on the right side of the political spectrum. I'm sorry. By all indicators.
Some people will fight you on that one, Nate.
What's that?
The best and brightest and best people in our country exist on the right side of the political spectrum.
No, it's just the truth.
All right.
All the things you can use to measure the kindness of a person, those characteristics are most found in conservatives. They donate the most charity. They donate the most time to charity. They donate to different movements that they're interested in. All indicators point to conservatives as being the quote unquote best people in our country. You can take it or leave it. Not you, sir, but anybody who wants to argue with me, just go Google, do your Google research. Okay, go ahead if you don't believe it.
All right. Okay, hold on. Here we are. All right, Slick Rick is asking a question. What are
Oh, wow, because the reason black men don't vote Republican is because Republicans won't deal with black men's issues. You want the GOP to do something about the black woman? Really? Good luck. Good luck.
Okay. Got another super chat in here. Said Ripside 2 says also, hold on, I gotta pull this down briefly because it was in the way. Hold on. He says, and also require the highest government subsidy. And you started that sentence with and also.
Yeah, I'm not
the
sure
disaffected Republican.
Yeah, that doesn't help me know exactly what it is that you're talking about. But all right, let's get into it. Oh, shout out to G5.
Oh, excellent. We love those cash apps.
I'm gonna
Awesome.
make sure I properly acknowledge you with the $20 super chat. Do appreciate you coming on through, dropping something on it. That's a name I don't even recognize that much, but I'm glad when new people come through and drop something heavy on it. So I do appreciate you. Coming on through. All right, let's get into this tape. Let's get into this tape.
The wake of this election cycle for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, and I read your research and I found it quite fascinating. Julie, I want to ask you, because you wrote a great piece in The Nation last year. I don't.
Oh, what did you say?
Politics.
I have to say, I don't.
Who was what?
Look at her. She's gone now.
Oh yeah, your homegirl. I forgot her name
old
already.
School Tiffany Cross, y'all. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that controversy? Okay, I know she got kicked off, they said, for for racism against white people.
Yeah, O'Shea did something about money. I didn't watch it yet. I'm not sure.
It was like some other back dealing, behind the scenes, slick, crooked shit going on there.
Well,
so,
I mean, Black American women, according to these YouTube videos, want to date scammers. So many Black women in YouTube with channels have been accused of scamming. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. I don't know the full details of that, and thank you, RM, for dropping the links and whatnot. Do appreciate you.
Thank
do
you,
appreciate
RM.
you.
Thank you.
All right.
Spend a lot of my time trying to dissect the voting trends of white women, but for purposes of this conversation, I thought it was something we should at least
politics, and it burned them, right? And now we're going to be sitting here dealing with the wake of this election cycle for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, and I read your research and I found it quite fascinating. Julie, I want to ask you, because you wrote a great piece in The Nation last year. I have to say, I don't spend a lot of my time trying to dissect the voting trends of white women, but for purposes of this conversation, I thought it was something we should at least talk about, since so much attention had been played on Black and Latino voters. And I'm just curious if you think, as someone who has looked at the other side of the divide, was this overwhelming support for Donald Trump in the 2020 election a vote for Trump, or was it a vote against Biden-Harris with the emphasis on Harris?
Well, I think that it's really the maintenance of the status quo is what it showed. Yeah. So white women have been voting. Narrow majorities of white women, or pluralities of white women, have been voting for Republican candidates for the better part of 70 years. And I think one of the important things that we can hopefully take away from this election is that these are longstanding patterns that are unlikely to change. And so this idea that Molly mentioned earlier, that kind of white women are the better angels of white people, and because we experience sexism and misogyny, which we do, that we somehow are more aligned or more empathic towards the oppression that people of color, and particularly Black Americans, experience in this country.
Now, that's a lot to unpack there.
Oh, so disgusting.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it.
I'm sorry, though. So white American women realizing that being at variance with our men is not in our best interest. And maybe our most productive, our best, our most intelligent, our most accomplished men, which are going to be white men in the Republican Party. Maybe getting behind these men is in our best interest. And they bring on members of the sisterhood, these miserable, old, used up, ran through women, both white and Black, that nobody wants. They bring them on to promote to the idea of young, impressionable women. Hey, the sisterhood over everything. The sisterhood over your family, the sisterhood over your innate biological desire to have a husband and children and a family that was put there by your creator. Sisterhood over everything. Sisterhood over your best interest. Sisterhood over a man being with you decades into the future, taking good care of you, directing you properly. Sisterhood over all of that. And Black women largely have decided to go with the sisterhood.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about the idea that they're literally describing it as a vote for Biden and Harris white women should view that as a vote, or not voting for Trump, voting for Biden and Harris. That going in that direction, that's the vote in favor of, or against oppression, against sexism, against misogyny, racism, and oppression. And white women should identify with that. Like, that's what I mean by when I said it's a lot to tease out there, because they're trying to appeal to white women from the standpoint that we are downtrodden and oppressed people, all people of color, and women are in the, basically white women are, they're trying to get white women on board with the people of color movement, so to speak. They're trying to get white women on board with that and vote the way that I guess people of color are supposed to vote.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why? That's a lot to unpack there, but that's the argument. That's the selling point. You deal with oppression and
how
sexism.
illogical is that on its face? You want these women to vote against their biological interests. If white women don't pair with white men, there's no white children to speak of. That's how insane it is. Black women vote, well, not all, Black women largely vote and work against the interests of Black family. Almost everything they believe, they fight for, they promote, is against the establishment of a cohesive two-parent Black family with a Black male and female. Almost everything they do and believe works against that. And they want white women to be as stupid and oblivious and prone to failure as they are. That's what they want. They want a sisterhood of the failed, just a sisterhood of the unwanted failed women. That's what they want. They want to make that sisterhood as big as humanly possible. And what women have to decide is, are you going to join with these useless, unwanted, ran through, undesirable women, or are you going to get behind proper men who will guide you correctly, who will form you correctly? They're not going to too much worry about your feelings and sensibilities. They're not going to cater to you, but they'll give you information that will allow you to make better decisions in life. You just have to be able to deal with what they say and how they say it, because we're not worried about your feelings.
No, good stuff. Shout out to Great Britain in the building. He says, I don't know if that thing is in Yahweh, but it's in my, I see different stuff on the screen when I upload the files. But anyway, Great Britain in the building says, appreciate the guest and subject of today's show, BR and Little Big Nate.
Appreciate that, Great Britain. Hey, bro, holla at me about the Manosphere Meetup 2023, Great Britain. Holla at me, dog.
Says, making Sundays great again. We may have to call it that. He may have just gave us the name of the show.
Oh my God, he did. Shout out Great Britain, man.
Make Sundays great again.
Make Sundays great again. Okay.
Stefan Carter says, thank you, Little Big Nate, for doing the Lord's work. Black men will be the new conquistador.
Holy shit. Go ahead. Bro, you got to subscribe, man.
Yes, make sure y'all are subscribing to Little Big Nate. Make sure y'all are subscribing to Little Big Nate. And I think I already read that one. Hopefully I didn't miss any of them. Hopefully I didn't miss any super chat. I probably missed some stuff, but RM is actually in the back working the controls. So now she'll catch it. Yeah, so she'll catch stuff now.
RM.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. But all right, cool. Let's pull this back up.
Hey, can I address something in the chat real quick though?
Oh yeah.
Trell, I quoted Trell Bentley earlier. I'm gonna quote him again. He says, so we are to not only place white women on a beauty pedestal, but also on a moral pedestal. Nah, fam. You're the only one placing white women on a beauty pedestal. I don't place white women anywhere. You see, this is the problem with, guys, y'all have to forgive me. I've been fighting against people like this for over 15 years. So I'm a little bit at my wit's end, if you will. That's where a lot of the WND comes from. Wild niggas disease, okay? Now, first of all, I don't ever place white women on no pedestal at all. But the problem with black people in America is black people are not smart enough to look at what works. White women in the South particularly are doing something that is working. And rather than acknowledge, hey, let's look at those white folks that are doing something that's working and take from it what we need to, learn from them, you're automatically setting them on a pedestal in the minds of leftist black men, in the minds of the hotep. This is why we can't deal with niggas like this. I can't do anything with black men that think like this, because this is terrible thinking. I don't place any woman on a pedestal. Go listen to my channel. I did a stream called Why the White Woman Is Not God. I did a stream called The Pasty Skunk, Why the White Feminist Ghoul Is Our Enemy. But niggas don't care about the truth. Niggas only care about their feelings. I'm done.
All right. If I was learning from other groups, just oddly enough, after seeing Wakanda Forever, I wanted to, wash that out of my mind. I went back and watched the original Black Panther. I watched it last night, actually. Just sat back and rewatched it. And one thing that Killmonger kept saying is that, I learn from my enemies. I learn what they do, and I emulate their practices. And that's what he was on. That's what he was on. He's like, their methods of what they do, I want to learn that. So even the people who, because I know Nate doesn't have this disdain for white folks, but even y'all who got the disdain for white folks, y'all still could look at the things that they do that work and say, hey, we about to learn from that shit and beat them at it. Let's learn what they're doing and then beat them at their own game. It's like that's an angle you can legitimately take instead of just looking at Nate saying that, hey, they doing something that works, black people should probably emulate it. Instead of trying to say that he's cooning by doing that, you can adopt the same philosophy and still have a disdain for them. You don't got to like them or get a hug from them in order to say, but they're doing that and that works. Let's emulate,
Bruh, I came to this space. The first show I did on your channel is why I'm voting for Donald Trump. I said on that show several times, why do you care if some white people don't like you? I don't. I'm the one in this space that said, who gives a shit if some white people don't like us? What the hell we care for? That's Nate saying that. I've been saying that ever since I've come on panels. But niggas don't want to listen. They just want to feel what they want to feel. My words tend to put people in the extreme camp of they love me or in the extreme camp that they hate me. I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep doing what I do, bruh. That's all I'm going to do.
All right. Let's roll the tape.
Like, that has been routinely discredited at every point throughout history. Not only have white likely to change, and so this idea that Molly mentioned earlier, that kind of white women are the better angels of white people, and because we experience sexism and misogyny, which we do, that we somehow are more aligned or more empathic.
The reason I said there's so much to unpack when they're saying the white women are the better angels of white people, they're basically saying that white people are better people if they vote Democrat. Like that's really what they're saying.
So stupid.
That's really what they're saying.
It's amazing, dog.
Towards the oppression that people of color and particularly Black Americans experience in this country. Like, that has been routinely discredited at every point throughout history. Not only have white women and majorities of white women voted Republican for the better part of 70 years, white women have taken an active role in the maintenance of white supremacy. And that has not changed over the course of generations. And so we still see those legacies today, whether it's Amy.
She's saying let's unpack that one. All right.
Okay, sure. Go ahead. My bad.
Let's unpack that one. She said white women has taken a
active role in the maintenance of white supremacy. Not only have white women and majorities of white women voted Republican for the better part of 70 years. White women have taken an active role in the maintenance of white supremacy.
All right.
By voting Republican. That's what she won't say, because she won't give you any details how, quote unquote, white women have worked on in support of white supremacy. What she's linking is white women, by voting GOP, are enabling and promoting white supremacy. But that's what the little pasty skunk can't say. Thank you. I call these women the pasty skunks. Filthy white feminist liberal ghouls. I've done whole streams on them. Linda Gordon, Gloria Steinem, Andrea Dworkin, the women who say marriage is slavery. All sex is grape. Andrea Dworkin literally wrote, all sex in the confines of marriage is grape. And you black men vote with these white devil liberal pigs. Get out of my face, nigga. Get the fuck out of my face.
Now, what do you say in response to the notion? Because it is Democrats who, like I always say, they support the policies that basically lend to I kind of know your response, but I'm throwing the question out there. The policies that ultimately lead to basically white people becoming a minority in this country. You know, it seems like a white person who cares about that, you know, would I don't know, would have something to say about it. But it's like Republicans are lightweight, you know, quiet on that. They're not really talking about it. It's like they don't want to get called racist. But when they talk about the upholding of white supremacy, that I think from there they would argue that the side that's supporting, you know, illegal immigrants, giving amnesty and open border, damn near pretty much open border anarchy and amnesty for those that are over here, I think like that would be their case, that we're clearly not supporting of white supremacy, but the side that's fighting against that, they're fighting against it because they want to keep white majority in this country. I think that's their argument, their case on these Republicans are white supremacists, the Democrats are not, because they're trying to they're actively trying to de-white America. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, white liberal, the reason white men have largely abandoned the Democrat Party is they feel that white men in the Democrat Party are self-haters, self-saboteurs. One of the men I've listened to since I was 19 years old, Patrick J. Buchanan, wrote a book called The Death of the West, where he talks about the coming end of white society in Western civilization because of the birth rates dropping, because of abortion. There won't be any white people in the future. Now, however the creator wants to handle that is how he wants to handle it, in my opinion. I don't want to kill any babies. I want to hold women accountable for their behavior. I don't want to subsidize women's terrible decisions, which is exactly what the Luciferian left and the Democrats do. All these both sides is garbage, niggas. Why don't you? They'll never come up and defend that premise. They'll never do it. Because for every one thing you say is bad on the Republicans, I'll give you 10 or 20 on the left. So how can both sides be equal if one side has a preponderance of evil and the other side has some evil? Yeah. But niggas can't answer those questions. That's why they stay in the chat.
I think it's like this. If we think the de-whiting of America is a good thing, but like
I'm not going to say it's good or bad.
No, not we. No, not we, but I'm just saying, just in general. Come on, you know, there's a lot of black people and definitely a lot of brown people who think that's obviously a good thing.
Yes,
but it's coming.
Yes,
but see, there's other details in there, you know, like we talked about what illegal immigration does to the particularly the black male workforce. You know, we talked a lot about that. Me and Hood Conservative did a lot on that, and you can draw a straight line to the unemployment rate and wage rate of black men in areas that are highly populated by illegals, that you can see it going down. You can see direct correlation
We suffer
in all of that.
tremendously
So
under unchecked immigration.
yeah, so it's like a double-edged thing, that even if you are of the position that white people becoming the minority in this country is a good thing, but then when you tally up the total cost of it, then you run into more problems. You run into more problems that I think disproportionately affect black men, like illegal
Well,
immigration, like that. Like we've done shows on that over here. It affects black men pretty bad. It
I
does.
would say this, Bernard. If white people want to abort their babies and vote for the Luciferian left, they should go extinct. But what black people don't want to acknowledge is because of Luciferian leftist ideology and policies, the black race hasn't grown in the United States of America in more than 70 or 80 years. We're still at around 42 to 45 million. We haven't grown at all. So it's not like black people should be about 100 million strong in this country, if not for abortion. 100 million. Now, some would argue that that would be even worse. And they could be correct. Or it could be great if we primarily were a people that were conservative and aligned ourselves with traditional family values and natural order. But like the title of this stream, black men want to follow behind black women politically, like the effeminate loser cowards that too many black men are. Whatever you say about the Republicans or conservatives, black conservatives take point and we take leadership. We don't get led by women. You niggas on the left get led around everywhere by your female nigga. And there's no getting around that, my friend. No getting around it. I can show you the polls, the exit polls that show nigga males lining up behind their women. Oh, mama, how should I vote when I go in this voting booth? Nigga boy, you vote the way I tell you to vote. Straight blue, nigga boy. And then you nigger boys do what you're told by your black queen on the left. We don't do that over on our side of the aisle, nigga. And I don't care how much you don't like conservatives. You're going to have to admit to that if there's a fucking shred of truth in you, brother.
All right, let's roll it.
And that has not changed over the course of generations. And so we still see those legacies today, whether it's Amy Cooper or the permit patties or white women that have weaponized their identities against especially black men who threaten their privilege. These are long-standing entrenched patterns. Now, the one point that Rachel just mentioned that I do think is worthwhile paying attention to, that have weaponized their identities against especially black men who threaten their privilege. These are long-standing.
Weaponize their identities, especially against black men who threaten their privilege. What is she talking about?
This white woman is literally trying to destroy her own man. And here, one thing you know about a turncoat is that you should never trust them. This is the problem with these leftist fucking filth. You get up on these panels with the likes of a demonic Tiffany Cross and you're cheering and laughing like old bitch-made Roly-Poly Martin always did. Now his best friend is gone from MSNBC. You see what you get when you follow these monsters? And now tell me which one of you black men will trust a turncoat? Somebody that would come to you and say, yeah, I hate the niggas I used to run with. They ain't shit. You know that's the main person you never trust. A fucking Benedict Arnold, a fucking turncoat. That white bitch is a turncoat. What the fuck you trusting her for? You niggas don't know anything about strategy. You read the goddamn Sun Tzu, The Art of War, but you don't ingest it. Niggas, I don't know what to do with niggas, dog. I just don't. I'm just going to keep pumping my shit on my channel. And if you want that real shit, you come here or you come to my channels and you'll get it.
Now,
never trust a fucking turncoat.
Now, what I was about to say, when I asked you, what did they mean by that? I think what she meant was, and keep it 100, hit it on the head. Where what they meant by that is, white women, when she said weaponizes their identity, especially against black men or something like that, it sounded like she was referring to like how they basically stole affirmative action, like that was their way in upholding white supremacy by getting in there and sneaking in through the side door and benefiting off or coming through the front door actually and benefiting off affirmative action really at the expense of black men. I thought that's what she meant by that, but see, here's the problem that she run into. They're talking about white women voting Republican upholding white supremacy, but isn't affirmative action, that's Democrats, is it not?
Absolutely.
So basically she's saying that they use the Democrats to uphold white supremacy.
Oh my God, Bernard.
If you follow that logic all the way home, she's contradicting herself.
That's why I come to the Bernard Riley show. That's why. I'm serious, dog. You got a way of breaking shit down I don't even have, dog, for real.
I appreciate that. But yeah, that was the flaw and contradiction. And when I watched this the first time, it didn't smell right when she said it, and I was like, wait a minute, what does she mean by that? But yeah, but here we go.
Insanity, anyway. Bro. Insanity.
Ending entrenched patterns. Now, the one point that Rachel just mentioned that I do think is worthwhile paying attention to, and that I do viewers, is that I think one incorrect takeaway from this election is that therefore we just wash our hands and say, okay, we're no longer speaking to white women. Like they're going to do what they're going to do politically. Their interests are their interests, and there's no point. And actually, I think that's where kind of delving into the subgroups of white women, and particularly looking at those white college-educated women who did appear to swing this election, where there has been real infrastructure built post-2016 that is doing real organizing in communities. That's not just swooping in with some ads in the weeks before the election, but that is really using white women's networks in those communities to organize. That does appear to make a difference. And not only that, I think we have to look at the fact that for the better part of 40 years, we have had a vast right-wing organizing machine in this country that has explicitly targeted white women. And so the notion that kind of white women are just going to do this.
So white women are victims.
I think, in a country that's so rooted in white supremacy.
I was typing something, but go ahead and lay out.
White women are victims now, too. They're the primary supporters of white supremacy, and simultaneously they're victims. They've been targeted by all this misinformation, Bernard. The misinformation of voting with your best and smartest men. Dog, I don't care what you think of me. You have to admit that I'm right. Black America is completely ass backwards. We follow women. Women tend to fail at leadership, and then we wonder why Black America is a fucking nightmare. White women, say whatever you want about them. A lot of white women in the South are learning that lesson, and they're getting behind their best and brightest men. That's just a fact. And if you can't deal with it, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right, my bad. I had to type something out real quick. But okay, all right, I'm back. Thank you for I barely know what you said, but no, I got let's roll some more of it. I think this may be closing towards the end of this. I think
is the
segue into another
default position, but it doesn't mean that we don't organize. And I think one of the takeaways is that we have to look at where that organizing happened and the difference that it made. And there are examples of that.
I appreciate that. So, Aaron, I'll turn to you on that because I think Julie does make.
All right, Larry Legend in the building says, hold on, let me see if I can do one thing to. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Y'all can't see it on my end. On my end is something blocking things. But anyway, Larry Legend in the building says Biden's tax plan is horrible for small businesses. Absolutely. Whenever I hear politicians talking about small businesses, I always want to ask, well, what do you mean? Because the definition of what's a small business and what's not a small business is pretty fast and loose. So I always want to know what they mean when they say small business, because I think the way that it used to be defined as any business with less than 100 employees that makes less than $5 million. So that's how that allows them to play fast and loose with the terms of, you know, technically a big business, but they call it a small business, and you know, and so it turns into a weird thing. It turns into a weird thing when you really get deep into the whole politics side of it. But thank you for that super chat, Larry Legend. Appreciate everybody who's supporting the stream. Appreciate each and every one of you. Let's roll some more of it. Let's go.
Some legitimate points. But you are a member of the media, and I think the media is a big part of this conversation because they seem to center white women, and they seem to have these conversations. After 2016, it was like, oh, we didn't pay enough attention to Trump supporters. Somehow, we're back on 2020 saying, oh, but we still have to consider the other side. When do we get to center black women and other women of color who have disproportionately upheld this party? Aaron, as a journalist...
What does she mean? When do we get to center black women who have upheld this party? When are they not centering black women and pandering to black women? when are they not? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Kamala Harris getting into the White House, like it was and I know you remember this, Nate. It was a whole thing like we got you elected, Biden. We demand a black female vice president. You remember that?
Yes. And they wanted all of their student loan debt wiped away too. And when it was only 10 grand, that wasn't good enough. That's racist. Taking 10 grand away from your student loan debt was racist. This is the mind of the Luciferian left, dog. And one thing I wanted to say is, look at those white women and how absolutely exuberant they are to support what appears to be a masculine white man in Donald Trump. They're singing his praises. Not the same thing that black women gave to Barack Obama. Barack Obama did all the tap dancing he could to make the ABW happy. But Donald Trump didn't give a fuck. He put what he believed out there and got the women on board with his program, which is how a man conducts himself. Man doesn't go around tap dancing, scared to use certain words. That's why I support Donald Trump. Not because I agree with everything he does, because he acts like a fucking man. And the women get on board with him. Where are the black men that have black women swooning and cheering and yelling like those white women are yelling for their hero? Yeah. Show me the black conservative who stands on principles, manhood, traditional family values. Where are the black women that cheer and pump their fists in the air for men like that? No, you got to be a bitch made half a gay nigga to get black women support. You don't believe me? Go read the story of Lindsay Sinclair and Barack Obama before you come at me saying shit. Thank you.
All right.
Where do you fall on this, taking into consideration Julie's point about not ignoring this voting bloc, but also paying attention to the people who have disproportionately upheld this party? Some would say dance with the one who brung you. What say you?
Well, where I fall on it, Tiffany, is that I helped to start a newsroom that centers women of color and other marginalized communities as, central to the narrative around women in politics in this country. And also,
hold on, what was subtly thrown out there, and I've noticed a lot of black women do this when they get on panels with white women. And even though these are feminist white women, liberal, Democrat voting white women that support and believe in all their causes, they be throwing shade. The black women be throwing shade like a motherfucker. Like they be basically saying, "No, I need y'all kissing our ass too." It's like,
dude, it is disgusting how black women demand the. How can and look? I'm asking black women this question: Can all you PhDs, all you I got 2 degrees, all you I got 2 businesses, Kendra, black women? You're so much smarter than me. I dropped out in the 13th grade from St. John's University. Yeah, I'm not smart at all. I'm just an auto damage appraiser in South Carolina. Who should be listening to me? Nobody. So all you brilliant black women and the weak, effeminate black men that follow you politically, can you just answer that one question for me? Please? What have we gained out of following Black female leadership? Show me one city being run by a Black female Democrat that's doing well, where crime hasn't exploded, where those liberal policies aren't destroying the very social and moral fabric of the community. Just show me one. That's all I'm asking for. You can't show me one? Lord knows you can't show me Atlanta. Keisha Lance Bottoms turned Atlanta into a fucking nightmare. I've talked repeatedly about the 4 Black couples I know trying to move out of Atlanta. A couple are considering Charlotte, home of the 2023 Black Manosphere Meetup, baby. You like that segue? You like it? I know you do. I know you do.
Oh,
let's
man.
get it, nigga. Let's fucking get it, dog.
All right. That was funny as hell.
I'm sorry, nigga. I got to take every opportunity, dog. Every.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. But all right, we about to probably have to wrap this up. Damn it, yet I did want to shut it down at the 2
We can do a part
mark.
2 next week or something like that.
We can. Yeah, like I said, every Sunday we we loosely calling it. It'll probably be in the next thumbnail. Make Sundays great again. we'll probably go with that title. So we'll be back.
Wow, I can't remember who did that, man. Salute to you on that title.
No,
man.
that was your boy. Damn it. Holy shit! Why can't? Okay, it was a super chat. I got it saved. So
it was.
I can pull it back up. That was Great Britain. I don't know how I forgot.
Oh, my nigga, Great Britain. Shout out Great Britain. Yes, sir. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Yes, sir.
Yeah, shout out everybody who supported the stream. Perfect Storm, Counselor Murray. Yeah, hit 20K this morning. Hit 20K this morning on the sub. Shout out to Perfect Storm. Shout out to Captain Cisco. Shout out to G5, Ripside, Stephen Carter, Great Britain once again, and Larry Legend. Somebody sent you a Cash App. You didn't shout them out.
Oh shit, let me get that. Give me a sec. Yeah, I got one. Wow. Nah, I'm kidding. I got one. Shout out to Mr. Johnson 2784. He sent me $5 for the WND. Now I can get $5 worth of my medicine, $5 worth of my treatment. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. You've shown how much you care about me. Thank you.
Right on. Y'all make sure that y'all subscribe to Nate. Make sure y'all subscribe.
Please, man.
The Little Big Nate.
I think I got another few days of strike punishment on Nate Dogg 74. Dog, I was almost at 100 listeners after a lot of hell and pain, but then they struck me again. So, I'm fighting. All I can do is fight, dog. And I'll be back on Nate Dogg 74 soon. But in the meantime, if you'd like to hear some Little Big Nate magic, you just got to come to Little Big Nate show too. That's all you got to do.
Mm-hmm. All right. So yeah, we about to get up out of here. I'd like to thank everybody once again. And even if you think you're subscribed to Little Big Nate's channel, you're probably not. So go ahead and subscribe. Hopefully Arim got the Little Big Nate Show 2 channel ready to go, ready to get dropped into the chat room. Hopefully you got it there. There we go. Make sure that y'all go and subscribe to that. When you going live again?
I don't know, bro. I'm only getting like on the Little Big Nate Show 2. I'm only getting like 20 people, man. I'll be honest with you.
That's the wrong one. Hold on, real quick. No, there's both of them there. Okay,
no,
you got both of them in
Nate Dogg 74.
Okay, all right. So you want to make sure you subscribe to Little Big Nate Show 2. That's the backup one that you probably not subscribed to.
I can't go live on my other
live to now. So make sure y'all subscribe to that one. But all right. So we'll be getting out of here. Oh wait, no, I forgot. You didn't answer. You don't got a set time when you're going live again?
I don't know, bro. I'm gonna, and I love that 20, 30 people that do show up. My heart goes out to them. I absolutely appreciate them with all my heart. But dog, I'm supposed to have thousands in my chat. And granted, there are things I haven't done, like chop up my shit, like do shorts. That's affecting my ability. Plus, I keep dealing with all this controversial topic stuff that keeps getting me struck and fucked over. But When am I going live again? Honestly, I plan on waiting to go live until my other channel's open again.
Okay.
But
make some pre-records and shorts. Make some pre-records and shorts.
I will. Yeah,
Yep.
and look out for the pre-record coming of this Shaquilla. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. The young lady that was killed in Mexico. I'm gonna do something that should go viral, because I'm going to absolutely eviscerate modern Black culture, which is completely fed by our allegiance to the Luciferian left and the Democrat Party. Black culture is shit, filth, piss, and diarrhea, because it's largely based off what we are given by the left and modern day liberalism. And that is an irrefutable fact. And I'm going to do an upload on it. Be on the lookout for it. Shankila. Thank you, Mr. Bentley.
Yeah.
Shankila.
Yeah. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.